So we're stepping into the next Torah portion, Mishpatim. We did the last one, Jethro, which is about the 10 words. And one of the things I would like to highlight when you study the Torah portion is to try and connect them. What was said last in the previous one, what is said next in the following one. Now, the last words from the last Torah portion, Jethro, was not the last or the 10th commandment of the 10 words. Exodus 20 verse 24 and 25 talks about an altar of earth, Adamah, and an altar of stone, Aven. And on the altar of earth there should be burnt offerings, olah, peace offerings, shalem offerings, which relates to the word shalom. And the beginning of Mishpatim, Exodus 21, are the judgments, the mishpat, regarding the bondservant. So now we have a storyline. In the previous Torah portion, we spoke about the kingdom of priests and their appointment through the contract that they agreed to, which are stipulated in the 10 words. Now, the very next thing after signing the contract, is the burnt offerings and peace offerings, the signing of the contract. Because back in the day, in the culture, you sign it with your blood. A little bit of blood. The blood brothers, you cut your hand or your palm, and then you shake hands so the blood can, form the covenant, the sign of the covenant. So I believe that it's got the same idea of signing this contract or this covenant with the offerings. First and foremost, the olah offering. Now, the olah offering is related to the Passover lamb because it had to be burnt completely with everything. Olah and elevation offering is normally the highest form of offering because it cost the most, because nobody ate from it except the Passover, but that was for strength. But it's got the same language in it, so it relates. So that in itself connects the blood of the lamb with the blood of the olah offering after the signing or the establishment of the agreement, the contract or the covenant between Yahweh and his priesthood. And then there's a peace offering, a shalem offering, which has to do with shalom, which relates to the completion of the building process. Now, that we saw with the symbolism of the altars. You have an altar of earth, which is Edom, and you've got an altar of stone, which is Aven, which has to do with Aleph and Ben. Aleph is Yahweh, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, and Ben is son, the one that comes from Av. Av is the origin, son is the one that originates from the origin. And the stone is a symbol of that. And when you read the New Testament, it talks about living stones that make up the building of the household. So the concept of Aben and Adamah, which is the soil and the stone, is basically the mortar and the building blocks, which are the stones that you use to construct walls with. So the offerings are basically the means of putting one stone on top of one another. Now, in saying that, the word Adamah connects to Obed-Edom that we discussed in the previous Torah portion, which was the servant or the slave of Adamah, of the earth and of blood. And that is because of the curse. We are enslaved by death to go back. So your blood will go back into the ground. or the soil. And that's where that symbolism comes to play. So we see the storyline continues with the process of redemption, of releasing you from the bondage of the earth, your blood going back in the earth. And the storyline there was that the ark was in the place of the Gentile for 3 months, and he was blessed for that time. So the ark of the covenant, or the covenant, is there to secure you or to protect you while the covenant is being put in place until its final fulfillment at the end of time. So that gives us an idea of the reason for the altars, the reason for the release of Obed Edom, the slaves of the earth, and also that the sacrificial system is connected to that through the Olah offering, which is the sacrifice of Messiah, and that he brought peace. There's no more enmity between Yahweh and man. There's now peace because of that sacrifice, the Olah offering, which points back to the Passover lamb. So I just want to highlight that and start the process of phasing into the new Torah portion for this week, which is Mishpatim, or judgments. So I hope you have a lovely day. Speak to you soon. Shalom.